Trust. Why is it that nobody trusts anything these days? Let's go and explore that a little bit deeper, specifically within the context of blood pressure support. So this blood pressure support group, it's now nearly 62,000 people. Sorry, it's snowing, so we've got the dogs. It's freezing cold. 62,000 people. What's the biggest issue that's talked about inside of the group? Well, prescribed medications and their side effects. People are absolutely sick of them. People are starting to wake up to the fact that the prescribed medications don't work. All they do is suppress the symptoms. You know, not saying that you know, a lot of people have to have them because they get into a state where, you know, it's crisis levels. You know, you've got to get them to bring them down. But in general, most people are recognising now that they come with a lot of side effects. It's not making them feel good. They recognise that it's, you know, there's other root causes, what's caused the issues, and they're seeking for a natural way to support and get their blood pressure back to healthy levels. So if we look at what happened with me, with my personal story, I was in a Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat in June of 2022. I was a participant in the studies. Without going into the details of that, I had to give blood, DNA through saliva, and give me blood pressure. At that point I found out I had stage 2 hypertension. I had no side effects, anything else. I was told I had to go and see my doctor when I got home, which is what I did. Had to take some blood pressure readings for 7 days, and I went back after 7 days and he confirmed, yep, you've got stage 2 hypertension, I'm going to put you on this prescribed medication. I was like, no, absolutely not. So people are losing trust in the doctors, and I'm not having to go at any doctor. A doctor has a set way of operating. They have to conform to you know, you've got this symptom, you prescribe this. This all goes into the big pharma profit wheel, which we all are waking up to as well. But the net result is people are feeling that they're not getting the level of support they want from the doctor. They're starting to distrust the healthcare system, you know, likes of RFK Jr. and stuff. That's exposing some of that, whether you like him, dislike him or whatever. These sorts of things are starting to come out. And the same for me. I didn't trust I was getting the best advice, and I went down a path to understand everything myself. So the healthcare system, trust. This is about trust. People are losing trust in the system. Next, you get a lot of people who go out and try and solve the problems themselves, and there's the dogs chasing something, and they try all these natural health supplements. Most people know that beetroots are high in nitrates, but to put in context, our PowderMAX product has 530 milligrams of nitrates in. To be able to get that nitrate content, you need 74 capsules of beetroot powder. So you can see the problem, and that's only one of the 4 pathways. But the point being around trust, regulation in the supplements industry is lower, which means it opens the space for bad actors. So you can have people who are marketing gurus, they come in, they tell you this is the best thing since sliced bread. A lot of customers, like myself, I've tried it, which is why I found out that 99% plus of the supplements market is pure gimmicks, which is why we exist, you know. And I'll come on to that, which is the link I'll be putting at the end of this video. Take a look yourself, have a look down halfway down the page, you'll see the clinical studies, every ingredient that goes in our product. And this isn't really, wasn't supposed to be promoting the product, but every ingredient that goes in there has clinical study backing to verify that it works. And in this case, it is that works in the context of lowers blood pressure. So a lot of people, likes of myself, have tried all of these different natural supplements that didn't work. Why is that? Because a lot of it is gimmicks peddled by marketing gurus. So like I say, if we're talking about just the beetroot powder, typically you would get 1,000 milligrams of beetroot powder in a serving. That's 10 milligrams of nitrates. You know, Dash clinical human studies say you need 400 milligrams of nitrates, yet you're getting 10. No wonder it doesn't work. So with regards to trust, people simply don't trust that what they're getting is going to work, you know, because of their past experiences, same as mine. So this is the experience I went through, and then I'm in a little bit of a better position through my own hard work and everything else. I retired at age 45. I'm now 52, which have freed us up some more time. So I spent over 1,000 hours researching everything to do with blood pressure. I understood about all the different pathways. You know, I've spent 14 years at university. I was the top of everything I've done. So intellectually, I can understand. I'm an engineer, and I learned all about the products and everything else. And I've in conjunction with a PhD bioscientist medical team, Dr. Karen Vieira and her team, we developed something that's unmatched and unlike anything else on the market. And like I say, every ingredient that goes in there, it's in there for a reason. It has the clinical study to say that it's working towards the goal, and that goal is to increase nitric oxide, which would reduce blood pressure and also reduce vascular inflammation, and also to put back all of the critical minerals such as magnesium, potassium as an offset and stuff like that. If you've got issues with any of them specific minerals, we also do the capsules, which doesn't have any of the minerals in. So and then, you know, if you come and you have a look at actually how difficult is this product to succeed. Supplements is the most competitive market around, so to advertise on Facebook and stuff, that is super expensive. Then it's not a supplement, as in the standard term. If you're taking vitamin C, you would never know if it works or not. This is a black and white product. It's a performance product. You start off with high blood pressure, take the supplement for 30 days. You've still got high blood pressure, you deem it didn't work. But here comes the next problem, because your lifestyle factors and the way you respond to the environment and your thoughts absolutely changes your blood pressure. You know this yourself. We see it in the group quite a bit with you know, the white coat syndrome. Your blood pressure in the house seems to be okay. You go to the doctors, goes from 120/80 to, you know, 160/110. How did that happen? Well, it was you were anxious, your body got more tense, and everything else raised your blood pressure. You know, if you're getting lack of sleep, lack of hydration, poor diet, no exercise, you get stressed and you respond to stress, all these sorts of things. So on a performance product basis, the product will work, absolutely will work. That's why it's got the clinical study backing every ingredient in there. If it didn't contribute towards the goal, it wouldn't be inside of the product. So it's a black and white product. But here's the next problem. The biggest issue in the world is the biggest issues in regards to killing people is, and that's not a fear thing, but it's a fact, is heart attacks. Since 2020, 2021, I'm not going to go further on that. The distance between heart attacks and cancer has escalated quite a bit. So the problem's getting worse, and the leading indicator of a heart attack is high blood pressure. Now, if you go to any person and say the biggest issue in the world is heart attacks, everybody's fearful of that, and the leading indicator is high blood pressure. What you're going to do, are you going to come to a supplements company which you don't trust because of all the reasons I've just given, or are you going to go run to your doctor, but then you're going to be disappointed because of the systems they have to operate to, which it's funneled to basically put you on prescribed meds, which you know isn't designed to fix the root cause of the issue, which is always a decline in nitric oxide levels, and there's underlying causes, vascular inflammation, all these sorts of things. Yeah, you're going to run to the doctors, but then the experience of that is that you've got a lack of trust. So trust is an absolutely huge thing. And then when you try and advertise, like so this morning, what's probably triggered this email, this video, is I get somebody commenting on one of the ads that were put through, stating something like good that you recognise beets addresses the nitrate-nitrite pathway. But all of the other stuff is just pure marketing gimmick and hype. How wrong could that person be, you know? First of all, beets, as I've said, if you want 530 milligrams of nitrates, you would need 74 capsules. That shows a pure ignorance towards that, and I really do not want to judge. I'm sorry if that comes across that way. But that the whole idea of what we have, which is why inside of this group, actually, I've offered for free, it's $300, currently like $100. It's a blood pressure training program. You know, it's better than the Harvard blood pressure training program. It is exceptional content, takes about 10 or 12 hours to complete. It's guaranteed results if you action it. You know, this is all educational based and everything else, but it becomes a little bit frustrating when people, all they want to do is attack, and I understand why, is because it's a lack of trust and they've been let down, you know. So for to say that, you know, the comment was that, you know, to talk about beets, which isn't in our product, by the way, to talk about beets addresses the nitrite pathway and it has clinical studies, so that's fair enough, but all of these other pathways is a gimmick, and that's just a level of ignorance which, you know, hopefully we're correct. So if you check on the link that I'm going to put below this video, you will see halfway down the page, have a look at the clinical studies. You'll see the reason, you know, that there's the pathways. Nitrite is absolutely, it's what you consume from putting inside of your mouth. But there's your vascular endothelium, which uses one of two amino acids. L-citrulline, I won't go into the details here, is the better one. So that's to promote the second pathway. You know, antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. If you get vascular inflammation, that's going to reduce your nitric oxide. That's the third pathway, the support pathway. And then a lot of blood pressure issues are due to, you know, misbalances of potassium, which offsets the sodium. Sodium makes you retain more water, more blood pressure goes up. Magnesium, it's a vessel relaxer, you know, and zinc and all these other sorts of things, you know. So there's three key pathways, and then our class is the fourth, is the mineral deficiencies. So a little bit frustrating to keep on getting the feedback and the distrust and everything else. I'm going to cut it short from there. I recommend going to the have a look on the website link, which I'm going to leave in the comment. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask them. I'd be delighted to. I'd even be happy to set up a live Q&A session. Whatever you want, that would help. What do we need to do to lower the trust issues? You know, we've got customers who are like telling us that it's changed their lives. It's, you know, I've got people, you know, coming from hypertensive crisis down to normal levels within a couple of weeks. You know, people who's done the blood pressure training program, 100% success rate. What else do we need to do to try and get trust within the group, you know? So happy to share any information I have. If there's anything I can do to help educate. Like I said, I've spent well over 1,000 hours on this. I know the subject pretty well, and if I can help in any way, I will. You know, I put a comment up the other day about, you know, all health issues are related to thoughts, and that triggered quite a few things, whether it's true or not, which it is. But you know, so there's a whole lot to go through. I'll leave it at that. Wishing everybody well and the best of health for 2026. Any comments, leave them below. Thank you very much. Cheers.